Roll out the red carpet. Bring the applause. Yes, sir. Baseworld in 6, as I predicted it. That's right. If you recall, episode what was it? 160? Something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it was something like that. I predicted Baseworld in 6. And damn it if it didn't happen.
You got to experience the life of a Jedi, sir.
That's not even the life of a Jedi. It's just old Lowe's knowing the future. Prophecy, baby.
Again, Jedi.
No. I know. But now, with that being said, well, I did have champagne, but I'm pretty sure I have to open it up a certain way, and I don't feel like doing that right now. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. That's too much work. So, I was going to pop a little bit of the bubbly, but I'm lazy. With that being said, I think it's about that time, because what did I say when we win the World Series? What we were going to talk about?
Refresh our memories.
Oh, we were going to talk about that tomahawk chop.
Oh yeah, you did say that.
Yes, sir. Oh, it's that time. That being said, that's why I predicted Baseworld in 6, right? Because that following game we played at Truist Park and we lost. And game 6 and 7 was going to play and it was going to be played in the Astrodome. Now, my issue was that I say we because I'm a Braves fan, but the stadium crowd in Atlanta enjoys doing that tomahawk chop. And the chop is a problem, period. So I'm glad that we won in Houston. That way the stadium crowd wasn't embarrassing us as we were enjoying such a amazing moment. Absolutely amazing moment. Like, everything about that moment felt good. Y'all don't understand. Well, y'all have an idea, you have inklings, but god damn it, that felt good. I mean, we beat a team that is known for cheating. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, like the Eagles and the Patriots.
Sure. So it's like thwarting the cheaters. You know what I'm saying? Whether or not they cheated that season, you could say that they probably did. You know what I'm saying? To get their way there. However, only person I feel bad for, all in all, the manager for the Astros, Dusty Baker.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the only person I feel bad for, because he and getting back on tangent, the tomahawk chop has only been a thing again since the Deion Sanders era, which is only the early 90s. So it's only been around for as long as I've been alive. And my problem is that we act like it's a tradition, and it makes me wonder, how long does something have to be going on in order for it to be considered a tradition, first and foremost? That's my first question. My second question is, how come we consider something that that's only been recently used and recently adapted because it started in the 90s, but it wasn't really made popular until the late 90s, early 2000s. And and the reality of it all, I don't even 100% think that it was really done often then either. So this is honestly a more recent thing that people really want to do because we don't want them to do it.
Hmm.
My culture in such a fashion. You know what I'm saying? Don't have my culture out here looking stupid. And Americans constantly have Native American culture out here looking stupid. And that's the issue. And that's the point that, these people don't get. And my thing is that the reason you don't get the point is because deep down inside, you don't give a fuck about these people. And my question is, how come or why come don't you give a fuck about these people, whether it's consciously or subconsciously? I could tell you why from a historical standpoint, but you act like history never happened, or you got a clean slate because you weren't a part of that history on a personal standpoint. But the point of the fact of the matter is that it's been, it's a energy that's been passed on from generation to generation to generation up to you to a point where it's just subconscious that you don't give a fuck. You couldn't tell me why because it's not from a personal standpoint or personal experience. And you refuse to believe the fact that it may possibly be from how this country has conditioned its inhabitants to get down. And maybe, just maybe, hear me the fuck out real quick. It's just, a theory, right? Maybe we should start observing these conditions that we've been conditioned to just accept and start questioning them and start look for ways to change them. Do we want to progress as a country? If, well, 9 times out of 10, you do want this country to progress in some way, shape, or form. However, there are certain people that don't want this country to progress in any way because they are fine with the way this country is because none of this country's problems affect them. And it's a certain group of people that it doesn't affect. And it's a combination of racial, systematic, um, status, and yeah, yeah. So it's a combination of those. It's not just white people. It's the rich. It's the wealthy white people. It's the mostly the white man. I mean, the Native American has warned us about them for a long period of time. And it's like, my thing is, you can trust them, but there's certain ones that you can't trust. And that's just with every race. But every race didn't have a say in how this American system was set up. And that is the issue. So I could do this all fucking day. This isn't, any crackpot conspiracy theories. They even taught us this shit in school, even though they relatively skimmed through it for the most part. But if you actually, look deeper and research some shit that made you go, huh, while you were in class, you figured most of this shit out, like I did. You know what I'm saying? So I am fucking ecstatic that we have won our first World Series since Kenneth was born. However, if we want to turn this motherfucking corner, we need to turn that bitch right. We can't do it, and just be the motherfuckers that everybody hates because we're such a trash fan base, or because they just don't like how we get down. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to be the Yankees. But the Yankees are obnoxious for another reason. They're just genuinely obnoxious.
Whoa. There will be no Yankee slander while I'm in this
I knew that was coming.
room.
There will be, but there's a certain respect against 27 rings. So,
right.
these jokes will fly, but they're respectable jokes.
3 hands are needed. Three sets of hands are needed to count how many rings.
No, I'm very well aware. Very well aware. And you're proving my point furthermore.
Glad I could be of service.
But we don't want to be an obnoxious fan base, unlike the Yankees. They're obnoxious because they can be. You know what I mean? We don't want to be obnoxious because of the shit that we do and call a tradition. And it's like, to be honest, Braves is a little bit culturally insensitive, but I let it fly because of the impact that it's left, because it's albeit semi-derogatory, it's semi-derogatory in reverence, because they looked at Braves in fear. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I have mixed feelings about the Braves as a team name. But as far as Cleveland goes, they got a little dispute because the Cleveland Guardians is already a roller derby team and they're suing for it. I don't. That's tough. Because Cleveland Guardians kind of sounds pretty dope. Like, and it's funny because it like goes to show the lack of creativity that these people have. And that's just absolutely wild to me. But if you really want to change a team, if you really want to keep the culture, but want to do right by the Native Americans, the indigenous of this country, you might want to, bring them in, and not just some random ones that you can be like, maybe we convince them to still use us to keep the Braves. No. Bring in people that are actually important to their tribes and really chop it up. Like, all right, can we still be able to pay homage to you guys? And if so, how can we? That doesn't sound too hard now, does it? It doesn't sound hard at all. But leave it to them to make it difficult.
Leave it to people. They're gonna make it difficult because no one's ever satisfied.
No, there is a no one satisfied type of deal. This is a no one satisfied type of deal. Do right by these people. That's how you satisfy. Full stop.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
Either way, somebody gonna have a problem with whatever they choose.
I'll tell you what, right? If the people in charge of this country treated the disenfranchised people of this country like themselves, this country would be significantly a bit more affluent. B, we wouldn't have we wouldn't have much to not be satisfied about anymore. I mean, there'd still be some things to not be satisfied because, as you said, no one's ever satisfied. But there'd be less complaints around here. You understand me?
Mm-hmm. But the next thing comes up that nobody likes. So what? A week?
He said, so what, a week? Yeah, but it'll be a good fucking week. Oh, boy, it'll be the most peaceful week ever, bro. Oh, God, we live in such harmony. And then, like, somebody's going to scuff somebody's Jordans. And then, well, we're going to be at war with each other. Nevertheless, it's Sunday. You know what that means. Live via satellite. It is Gorilla Gang Podcast. I am your host, Carlos Crawford. It's daylight savings, or it's over, or how does that work? I don't know. But, you know, clocks were sprung back or fell back an hour last night. I was actually up to watch it because I watched the UFC card from last night with the Hood Rat Boys. And boy, oh boy, am I glad I watched it, because God damn, that was a good card. The entire card, not just one or two matches. It had everything I needed, even when it didn't end the way I needed it to end. It was amazing. I loved it. However, alongside with me is my good buddy and co-host, Kenny Whitaker. What's happening with you, Kenny?
Meanwhile, Canelo unified 4 belts last night. So
I heard.
Yeah,
let's talk about that real quick.
He made history. First man to do that. So yeah.
Would I be remiss if I prefer Canelo Alvarez over Floyd Mayweather Jr.?
No, because you would have reason to. But then again, I would just put up, Floyd beat Canelo.
That still is a bad taste in my mouth, and I want them to have a rematch, but that's never going to happen. Let me turn the light on, because of daylight savings, everything's getting darker earlier. It's not even 5 o'clock yet. I'm going to turn the lights on and turn off my curtains eventually. Turn down my curtains, whatever.
Yeah,
whatever.
I guess I could turn the light on. Yes.
All right. However, this week, what are we talking about this week? Oh, wait a minute. I just had it.
I got it.
Oh, you guys had pre-show. You guys saw pre-show. And, hey, listen. It's about that time we should probably shut down Astroworld. Probably. Something to consider. But first, pin count brought to you by, well, me and Fuzzy Slipper's cousin, Nikita Tiffany.
Hey, shout out to the family.
What do you say?
I said shout out to the family.
No doubt. However, as I was saying before, this internet connection rudely interrupted me, and which it probably is doing right now again. Number one, Nick Khan going to consolidate Vince McMahon out of business, bro. They just made more roster cuts.
I mean, at this point, it's like, what more can I say? What more can I do?
Bro.
And you know me, I never had one to like pass up an opportunity to say I told you so. And that tradition will continue because I told you so.
Son. Hold on. Cause
why you getting the list together? I will say I do like King Woods. That makes me happy. But the fact that Roman is involved makes me angry.
So Roman's involved in the whole King Woods angle. Are you serious?
Yeah, now he's the Usos are warring with the New Day. So of course by default he has to talk.
Oh yeah, I forget. All right, fair enough.
So
whatever.
Yeah.
All right. So wow. So like about I guess 17 people, right? Shortly after WWE's according to Wrestling Observer Figure 4 Online, shortly after WWE's quarterly investors call wrapped, the company began making cuts to their talent roster, citing budget cuts as the reason. Once again,
Johnny Ace. It's a budget thing. That's the future definitely.
Still trying to figure out how this is a $1 billion company and they still trying to make budget cuts. I guess this is how they're becoming a $1 billion company.
That's how they come to our company. I fucking can't wait.
However, from the main roster, Keith Lee, Mia Yim, Nia Snacks. Oh,
are you just not reading this list?
Yes.
Oh, that Nia Jax thing is terribly bad. So I'm assuming you didn't see her post.
Oh God. Put a pin on it.
I'll put a pin on it, but it'll probably just upset you further. But keep reading.
Well, I'm already upset about Keith Lee and Mia Yim because WWE dropped the ball on them.
Yeah, but the Nia thing's gonna piss you off. So just keep. I'll put a pin on it. Just keep.
Karrion Kross, another wrestler they dropped the ball with because Karrion Kross doing perfectly fine at NXT, and he was that dude independently. Eva Marie, she should have never came back. I try to tell y'all.
She did a beautiful drop kick. Hashtag drop kick.
LinkedIn.
The internet, brother, and I'm lagging again now. That I know when slip falls off, we start lagging. I don't understand.
Harry Smith. Who's Harry Smith?
David Harsmith.
Oh, little Davey. Yeah, I guess so. I never saw him on the main roster. What was he doing?
Yeah, I ain't seen him on any roster. So.
Yeah. And B-Fab were released. Wow. You fucking idiots.
Yeah, Hit Row's there.
Way to remove the entire appeal of Hit Row. Congratulations. Y'all ruined Hit Row. So here's what's about to happen to Hit Row, ladies and gentlemen. Right? Hit Row, they're going to go for they're probably going to go for a tag team championship run on the main roster. It may be successful. Eventually, it may end up with them losing the tag team championships. They may fuck around and either break up or just go into obscurity outright. They may come back, take a little break from the screen, come back and become like some comic relief of some sort, and then they're going to eventually get released. That's how this shit goes.
See what I'm doing? See what I'm doing?
Digging?
Yeah, I'm getting ready to bury them.
Yeah. Don't worry. WWE going to do the job for you. That's just how the shit goes.
I'm symbolically doing it as WWE.
From an NXT roster, Scarlett, which makes sense. Package deal, Karrion Kross. I don't know why they separated the two. Amber Moon, that kind of sucks because I like Amber.
That sucks a lot, especially for Up Up Down Down, who haven't posted in about a couple weeks. They're losing big players on that.
Everybody on that show ain't in WWE anymore.
They just cut the Up Up Down Down champion, which was me again.
Nobody on Up Up Down Down is in the WWE anymore, but the show's like host
and Big E.
That don't make no damn sense.
It's pretty much the New Day YouTube channel.
Yeah. Like your take. WWE has this thing, right, where they want to WWEize the shit that's dope. Like, they take things and want to make it corporate, and it's like, yo, it's not going to work. It doesn't work. What makes you think it works? But it doesn't work. And that's frustrating as hell. Who else did they release? Frankie Monet. I kind of saw that coming, but she was starting to build up. She was starting to build up momentum. That sucks. Jessie Kamea. That sucks, but you couldn't really do anything with her. Katrina Cortez.
Not sure who that is.
Jeet Rama. Oni Larkin. Are you serious? Trey Baxter and Zeta Raymer have been let go. Oh my God.
Oh, and Grand Metalik.
I already said Grand Metalik.
Oh, must have cut out.
Wow.
Yeah. Are you ready for me to further piss you off? Oh, it's that read. Oh, cut out again. Dang it. Let's try. This is bad.
I said, well, Frankie Monet, all she could tweet was Taya Valkyrie. So that is coming back. All Amber Moon tweeted, all I can do is laugh. Literally, that's all you can do at this point, bro. Because now at this point, unless you're a champion on the show, or you're in a rivalry with the champion, or you are a major face of the company that's in the title picture, one way or another, your days are fucking numbered in the WWE. One way or another. That's just how it's going right now. So,
meanwhile, Kenny Omega tweeted, and I quote, "Old friends, old rivals, people I never faced before. It doesn't matter to me as long as they're ready to be another statistic on my record." See
if I care. Fucking Kenny Omega could be a dork sometimes, but god damn it, when he says shit like that, that makes me go, yeah, that's why people.
Thank you and good night.
Like, that's why. So it's like so my point is that, you know what I'm saying? Unless you're Sasha Banks, Roman Reigns, Big E, in which
Charlotte,
Big E had a fight to get to the top. He really did. Like we had to push this motherfucker in order for them to push Big E, because they were faking on Big E. Okay. And I ain't like that either. You know what I'm saying? Because this motherfucker Big E is plutonium. You understand? You know, like you can essentially build a company around Big E, if you ask me.
That's what they're doing. That's what they're trying to do. They want to save it. They want to save it. Trying to put them up there. But no, are you
Oh, wait. I had one more.
Okay.
Yeah. You said Charlotte. That's where my mind was going to.
Yeah. Well, the point you're making on Charlotte is falling on deaf ears because it is now mute.
16 championship.
Yeah.
So like, but that relationship between Charlotte and WWE starting to have cracks in the shield. I guess you could say. I'm not going to say starting to strain or anything like that because I don't 100%. But you're starting to see cracks in the shield in that relationship. But
Yeah.
I like signs point towards her going to AEW. That makes sense. I wouldn't mind seeing Charlotte in AEW. Because for the simple fact that a Flair in another promotion other than WWE never hurts.
Yeah, and plus Rick is over there with Andrade.
Rick in AEW?
Oh yeah, he got cut too. He ain't WWE no more.
No, I know Rick was in AEW though.
Yeah, well, he's not signed, but he be in the locker room. He's Turner. He don't have to have a contract. He can walk in. He pretty much built Turner. He can walk in whenever he feels like it. Just like he can walk in either promotion whenever he feels like it. And plus for all the heat, that's been going on with him and WWE, Turner only just feels like home. So they'd be like, yeah, you could be in wrestling, just be low key.
Make no mistake though, Ric Flair ain't the only thing that made Turner. Ric Flair.
Oh no. I'm not saying he ain't the only thing that make Turner, but him, Dusty, Sting.
No. Him.
Yes.
Family Matters and the Atlanta Braves.
I'm talking about wrestling. I'm talking about wrestling. I'm talking about Turner Wrestling, the Superstation and wrestling.
That's what I'm talking about. That's who made him.
Whatever.
Oh no, but you talk about wrestling terms, so it's like, yeah, I guess I can get down with Flair, Rhodes, and Sting. I'm Sting. So
yeah, but yeah, he's Turner royalty. He can do that.
Also, where does Slippers go?
Oh yeah, I'm guessing his sister came because he did say he had to drop off when his sister came.
Oh yeah, he did say that. I completely forgot that.
So yeah.
So yeah, it's.
Strap in, buddy. Don't. We ain't done.
like Charlotte can be enticed to go to AEW. Who knows if she stays and finish up the whole Flair gimmick in WWE where she wins 16 championships, recognizable.
Well,
honestly, most of those championship wins, dog, don't even feel like real championship wins either.
Hey.
So it's like, what are we really doing here? However, unpin Nia Jax for me. What was that situation?
So Nia was off TV because she needed some mental health break, which everyone does. And along the time she was scheduled to return, she told them that she still needed some more time for her mental health. They did not respond with a text message. She texted them, they didn't respond. So a couple weeks later, they had a response, and then she looks up, she's released. So that should let you know what they feel really about people who really need mental health. Because Nia was going strong for like a long time.
My thing is, at this point now, I wonder what she does next, because it's like, does she go wrestle elsewhere or does she call it a career? Because I don't think Nia was one of those wrestlers that was doing the shit for like, a living as a passion, so on and so forth. Like this wasn't all that she did. You know what I'm saying? Like I can model.
Also, Paige did tweet out bring back Naya, so they keeping Paige around. So Paige might got some stroke.
In which I'm trying to figure that out. How? Because Paige is a totally different story, like a whole another story. Because this is a woman that took the torch from AJ Lee to further build the women's division, all while doing shit that was, I wouldn't say detrimental to her career. I would say it was, well, she was just a wild girl.
Yeah.
Bottom line, Paige was wilding. You know what I'm saying? And she's doing shit that could have possibly got anybody else released.
Yeah, like sitting on the royal throne,
Leaving cum stains on fucking title belts and shit. Okay. No! That really happened. There's no butter for that.
It did happen.
Yeah, no. So
I definitely made the royal throne joke first, so if anyone gets a buzzer, it should be me. But that also really did happen.
I took no time. No time.
So you can buzz me, but not okay.
Well, you asked for it, so I just obliged.
I said it could be me. I didn't ask for it. You took it upon yourself to deliver it. You're like a bad Amazon package. You know what I'm saying? You want that?
Taking liberties.
I want my money back.
Taking liberties. But so I'm just like I'm upset at the fact that you make these significant roster cuts, and it's like there are so many other people that you could possibly cut aside from these people you just deem, oh, we can't do anything with. Nah, y'all probably need to do something about creative. That's my thing. Like at this point, I'm about to be like, yo, y'all should probably just say fucking and crowdsource fan-made storylines and shit. At least it'll be interesting. You know what I'm saying? Because the shit y'all giving us on a week-to-week basis, only the, you can do it if you try crowd is going to fuck with. What about the motherfuckers that actually like, this shit is cool? You know what I'm saying? There's not a lot of this shit is cool things going on.
Yeah, it's not.
It's
a lot of people are just watching WWE now because of nostalgia at this point.
Yeah, and going through the motions, and because the kids watch it. That's literally their hook at this point. Because once you get rid of that nostalgia, because the nostalgia is starting to get old or too old for this shit. Mm-hmm. So now you gotta start looking towards the future, but they're going about it the wrong way because you had people that were stuck during this nostalgia period trying to make names for themselves during the nostalgia period that y'all were looking over for the nostalgia, and then y'all leaving these same people ass out because y'all are going to drop the nostalgia act and want to build towards the future. And that's relatively fucked up because y'all had solid talent, but y'all had y'all priorities fucked up. And then once y'all changed y'all priorities, they were no longer a priority in general. How? You had talent on these rosters. NXT showed you.
Mm-hmm.
That's always going to be my problem, man. Creative's always going to be my problem. And half the reason don't even be their fault. And we know who fault it really be sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
He getting in the way of himself. He is getting in the way of himself. All the while, AEW remains the Super Smash Brothers of wrestling promotions.
Mm-hmm. To go back to a classic Brody Lee promo when he first arrived as the head of the Dark Order, he won't be the first low, boring, out of touch old man to doubt him.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, it's really getting ridiculous for WWE. It's like, my thing is, I still watch NXT, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because somehow, some way, NXT still brings out a good product every week. And I think it's because
You know exactly why.
no, I don't think we do. I don't think we do. Because did Vince and Pritch take over the show? Yes. However, they essentially kept everything, or kept the creative crew and so on and so forth. So these gimmicks, and these gimmicks range from the child of a Steiner to an Italian goon. And it's like, what they're also doing is, and which I find ironic, is they're keeping some of the talent that made NXT the big show, like Gargano, like Ciampa, who's currently champion on NXT. And then not only that, they taking some of the like mugs that were on the main roster just being there, but people actually like them. They're bringing them back down to NXT, like Mandy Rose, and actually making them relevant again. Like Mandy Rose is NXT Women's Champion right now, and I'm not mad at it. I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all.
That makes me happy as someone that's beat the drum for Mandy Rose on multiple occasions.
Oh yeah. Again, like I said, I've had my criticisms of Mandy Rose because I always thought Sonya Deville was the better one out of the two in general.
Mm-hmm.
But her championship run right now, it's not bad at all. Like I said, I don't hate it. She beat Raquel Gonzalez for it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I was like, all right, I can fuck with you, Mandy. Then not only that, she got her own group of cronies, and they're women's tag team champions. Yeah, yo, they're doing the right thing right now. I like that. I like that a lot. So what the fuck is going on the main roster? I'll never understand. I propose a draft for the creative writers on all three shows. Boom. Now y'all gotta figure it the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? As far as storyline and shit like that go. Why? Whose fault is it?
Whose fault is it anyway?
You know what?
Whose fault is it anyway?
Yeah, whose fault is it that we shoveling shit every week? Or who's the people that are actually giving us gold ideas? Regardless, it needs to be spread the fuck out. Because there's no reason why NXT should be the better show when it's when it's considered the developmental show. Now, again, because they've like took away the allure that Triple H built. So now they're just going back to it to be like a developmental field. In which, okay, but somehow, some way, you're still the better show. And that's a bit of a problem if I want to watch the D League games instead of the NBA games. So that's all I'm saying. However, number 2, Odell Beckham Jr. was released by the Cleveland Browns this week, and the score on that game against the Bengals right now is,
I think it was like 44 to like
41-16 final. Okay. I know what you guys are gonna say, but it's not true. And I don't want to push a fucking narrative, okay? That's enough. No. No. It's because he's black and you know it. All right? Stop it. That's it. That's fucking enough. All right? So listen to me. Oh, let me take a swig of this. All right. Odell Beckham Jr. wanted badly to be with his teammate in college, Jarvis Landry, and Cleveland. That's how this all started. All right. This seemed like an excellent idea on paper. But the problem is, as Odell Beckham Sr. posted from another person, Baker Mayfield has a bit of a problem throwing in Odell Beckham Jr.'s direction. But the thing is that you're not going to blame it on Baker Mayfield now, are you? No. It's got to be on Odell Beckham Jr. Why? Because we seen him spaz out back in New York. Have we heard from him doing such a thing since then? No. But still, that's the memory we have of him. That's the impression that he left. He likes to dance and shit. He likes to have fun. He likes to enjoy himself. Y'all don't like that. Y'all like professionalism. Y'all like tight-ass motherfuckers that say yes, sir, and no, ma'am. Like, y'all want clean-cut boys and shit. And that's just not Odell's get down. So now, to you, he's a distraction. And that's my problem with you motherfuckers. So, with that being said, them putting 41 up on Cincinnati tells me this, right? They didn't want Odell. They didn't want Odell there in the first place. Not the organization. Certain players. That's what I'll say. Because it's like, if you're getting thrown wild passes in your direction that could just lead to your fate if you try to go for the catch, and or just not being thrown in your direction at all, that's a bit of a problem. And it just so happened that y'all are losing fucking games while you're in, but the blame isn't on the motherfucker that's supposed to give you the ball. That's an issue. Look in the fucking mirror at that point. You know what I mean? Because I remember a certain point back in, I want to say it was like either 03 or 06, right? There was a certain wide receiver in Minnesota that got traded to, got picked up by the Oakland Raiders, right? And seeing as how he was an extremely gifted, deep route running wide receiver, they told him during practice, just run go routes. Every route you run, go route. And the quarterback at the time, Kerry Collins, would say that he wasn't, what's the word? I missed the word just like that. I want to say scene signaling, but that might not be the term for it. At any rate, Kerry Collins thought he was a better quarterback than he really was. That's the bottom line of it all. And so he decided not to throw the ball to this wide receiver.
Huh.
And it gets to a point where
That's not how that went.
Uh-oh.
oh,
That's not how it went.
this is how the story goes according to an actual analyst with an actual source. I'm
That's
just
not how it
telling.
went. I'm telling you, that's not how it went. Because Randy
Not
Moss has spoke about it. The person who was there, he has literally said Kerry Collins did his best, but Kerry Collins didn't have an arm. So he like legit went to Moss and was like, bro, you're fast. I can't throw that joke down that far. Like I can't do that. That's not my skill set. I'm a West Coast quarterback.
Okay.
And
So how do we get
Moss
to the
was like,
point where we're watching a live game, and if you look at number 18 at the top of the field, he is walking his routes.
because he knows that that quarterback can't get him the ball. The quarterback, like Kerry Collins, was a G. He was like, bro, I can't throw that joint. Like you be open. I agree with you. They need to find another quarterback for you. Cause me, I don't throw that joke down there. That's not what I do. Like I can't get it there. It's like it's the equivalent of putting Randy Moss with Chad Pennington. It's never going to work because Chad Pennington in his best day can only throw the ball down the field 55 yards. On his good day, that's 55. Kerry Collins was a little more than that. He could do 65 sometimes, but he wasn't a deep ball thrower. He was an intermediate to short throw. So Moss literally, like, I forgot where the interview was, and I'll find it and send it to y'all. But Moss literally was like, nah, it wasn't Kerry Collins. It was everybody else. Literally speaking, though, it was the offensive coordinator. It was the coach at the time. They were just like, Kerry was telling them, this is not going to work. Y'all should probably move on from me and send me somewhere else because it's just literally not going to work. And they just didn't want to do it because they just didn't want to do it. They were being stubborn like they used to do back in the day, where no, you're going to fit in our system as opposed to us trying to find a way to use this extraordinary talent that we have.
Now, mind you, this is a strong arm quarterback franchise with what you consider a weak arm.
Exactly. So it was like the fact that Kerry Collins was there in the beginning was a mistake because, like you just said, that's a strong arm quarterback franchise. Like that's what they do. So all in all, it just didn't make sense at all. And Kerry Collins knew that. He knew the jig was up. They just kept him there. So he was just like, I mean, I can't cut myself. So
well, you probably can, but you know.
Not if you're a quarterback. And the way you can cut yourself is not the type of person Kerry Collins is. You have to be Jamarcus Russell, who also is on that. Yeah, sorry, Kenny.
That's how you cut yourself.
I'm going to disappear off of that for a second.
Oh, come on. At any rate, roundabout, the point that I'm trying to get across here is that motherfuckers were claiming that, well, seeing as how you ruined the allure of me shrouding this receiver name. Yeah. They said that Randy Moss was washed up and he was essentially done. So then a 29, 30-year-old Randy Moss wound up in New England. And which one of you two want to tell me what happened with Randy Moss in New England?
He broke every receiving record known to mankind.
He broke every receiving record known to mankind.
All of them. Literally.
He was not washed up. Okay. So that's the point I'm trying to get across here. Now, I'm not saying that Odell Beckham Jr. is any Randy Moss. That is not what I'm saying. My point here is that you can't just take a motherfucker to a team where his career goes to die and just call him washed up. Get him in a better position. Get him in a better situation. That way he'll actually be able to flourish, because there's no fucking way you're going to sit here and tell me that Eli Manning made Odell Beckham Jr. Now,
Eli Manning's trash.
I usually say good things about Eli Manning, but let's not kid ourselves here. Eli Manning did not make Odell Beckham Jr. Odell Beckham Jr. was a big deal coming out of college. Odell Beckham Jr. was not Victor Cruz, who you could argue Eli Manning made, because where in the fuck did he come from? We don't know, but we're glad we saw him show up now, did we? Regardless.
That's debatable, but no. The fact that Eli Manning made him. Victor Cruz was a slot receiver, which is the best friend of a quarterback in the West Coast. It was like a match made in heaven. He was quick. He was the black. Well, no, is he black or isn't he mixed?
Latin.
Yes. So he was the Latin Wes Welker, just faster.
I want to watch George Lopez.
Huh. Yeah. That's the way to look at it too. But regardless, Odell was not that. This motherfucker again was a big deal coming out of LSU. So you can't sit here and say that Eli Manning made him. He was legitimately good. And then you take him somewhere that isn't good unless you have flashes of brilliance like they did last season. He wasn't terrible last season now, was he?
Yeah, some people he was, but that's the problem.
Well, to some people, their team is probably trash. So
wasn't he hurt for like most of last season anyway?
They're either trash or
yeah.
Your team cheating. You have a 45-year-old that should have been retired like 5 years ago.
Oh no, we're still talking about Randy.
Yeah, no, we're still talking about. Well, we were talking about Odell.
Yeah, that's why I thought we were back on Odell.
No, we're still talking about Odell. I'm just saying, like, motherfuckers constantly criticize Odell being a distraction because he dances to the beat of his own drum. And I don't like that shit for real, because motherfuckers like
look at Colt McCoy showing arm strength.
Hated Marshawn Lynch until he retired. Now everyone loves Marshawn Lynch.
Mm-hmm.
And my thing is, Marshawn Lynch hasn't changed how he got down one bit. He just actually started, talking. That's it. That's all. He never changed who he was. He was always who he was throughout his entire career. And Mo was like, I wish he'd just, do this, that, and the third, and not grab his nuts while he dives into the end zone and shit like that. And
I thought that was funny.
I thought that was awesome. I feel like that's how you should always score a touchdown, if you ask me.
Yeah, always. Yeah. In that moment, I agree, because that was a big moment when he scored that touchdown.
Yeah,
it has to fit the moment. Like the Jose Batista bad flip. Like you can't do that on the first home run in September? No, in August. But
it's not even like weeks before the home run derby.
Right. But in the ALCS, that it makes it that much more memorable because it started a route in the playoffs.
Exactly. Yeah. Him eating Skittles on the sideline and shit like that. People hated it until they realized they could market it.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, fuck it. Figure out how to market Odell Beckham Jr. Maybe you'll like him more.
What you mean, figure it out? He has showed you how to do it. He has marketed himself. My man's just in Paris Fashion Week, bro.
They don't like that, though. They don't like that, though. That's not what they want. No. So
that's bad.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So that's the problem. That's the exact problem. Because he's different. That shit is stop, bro. It's gotta stop.
because we're humans.
You said
All
what?
right.
It's not going to stop because we're humans.
Again, it all goes back to the same argument. People never satisfied.
Exactly. Literally, this is going to be the basis of this whole episode. People are never satisfied.
And
There
every
can
topic
always be
just
something
reveals
else.
it more and more.
I hate it. I hate it so
Hey,
much.
this is why, again, the
Hate it or
conversation.
love it, the underdog's on top.
Exactly.
I hate
I
this
was literally
game.
going to say that in a roundabout way.
Woo!
Touche.
However, number 3. So listen, what's this country's regulations on monkey ownership? Does anyone know?
I don't know.
No idea whatsoever.
Do you mean like monkey or like chimp? Because I think there's different ones. If I'm remembering the documentary, I saw.
Primate. Well, let's just say primate.
There you go. Because I was trying to figure out that word and you just said it. Yeah, I don't think it's legal because there are so many stories of them ripping people's faces off. I think it's illegal across the board.
I remember Michael Jackson owning one, Bubbles.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well,
and they took
that's my
Bubbles away from, but they also took Bubbles away from him because even Michael Jackson was like, "Yeah, no, don't go over there." Like, there's documented video proof of him saying, "Yeah, don't go over there." And I don't think Bubbles lasted very long with Michael. I think eventually they took him away because, especially chimps, they're not to be trifled with. Them jokers they're strong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And some kid had to learn that the hard way over the Halloween season. When Slippers, get off Mike because get Mike back on because this is Texas related.
Why do I have to get back on Mike because it's Texas? I just like the Longhorns. And
I like Texas Roadhouse.
this special teams coach, and I don't know this motherfucker's name for real. So
Texas special teams coach.
Your special teams coach. I just know that
You
he
expect me to know the special teams coach for the team that I'm trying very hard to not watch anymore because you keep disappointing me?
Fair enough. All I know is that his girlfriend's name assassin.
We couldn't hear you.
What?
Her stage name is Pole Assassin.
Stage name. Oh, this story's not going
on.
Story's not
Danny Thomas, her name is. And she is dating, again, assistant coach Jeff Banks.
Jeff Banks.
And apparently she has a monkey who is a part of her act.
Oh boy. How do you find these things? That's all I want to know.
Right. Where do these people live? Where are they located?
In case you haven't realized what Miss Thomas does for a living, she is a pole dancer, and the monkey is a part of the pole dance.
I've put that together.
How do those two even align together?
I mean,
I don't want to know. I don't want to know what you conceive to make it work. Just don't.
it's really not that difficult.
Don't.
It's not crass.
I like my pole dancers to not have monkeys. Okay.
It's not that crass, bro. It's really simple. It's just hanging around. That's what they have in common. That's it. It's
But
That's the lowest common denominator. The lowest.
Hey, all it takes is a common denominator, bro. You act like it has to be perfect. It's human.
I was told there'd be no math.
The monkey,
Yeah,
the
they
monkey is climbing along with her.
Yes. Hey, to some people that's their kink. That's their thing. I'm not.
Oh yeah, look at that monkey climb with that lady. What?
The pandemic.
Right,
Hey,
we in a whole
I'm not
pandemic.
I'm not asking you.
Chimps got more than COVID. Okay, y'all this Jones.
Ain't got nothing to do with me. Nothing to do.
She's pussy popping on the handstand.
First of all,
monkey stand there like
monkey popping. Monkey popping.
upside down the splits. He's standing on top. He's standing on her thighs.
And it was at this moment that the monkey joke started.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the off the rails portion of the show.
Nope. Get back on the rails. Everybody, get back on the rails.
She's on the top of the pole doing tricks and shit. The monkey's like right below her, like trying to imitate the tricks and shit.
Hey everybody! I know I see your monkeys out there. You want to see mine?
And there we go. I tried that.
I may want to see this act. This may be more adorable than disgusting, actually. I've come around to it.
I tried to keep us on track, but
She's wow, they're good on a pole. Her or the monkey?
He continue to do tricks. He like slide down the motherfucking pole and grab like a little hat, start doing
Slide to the left. Slide to the right.
I was dropping the money in the hat. He do a little twerk and leave. Like, what the fuck is happening right now? Oh man. At any rate, this monkey bit a kid. That's what. That was the punchline of this entire article.
time out. I have several questions. Where did this biting take place?
Your special teams coach's house.
Okay, that's fine. As long as it okay, because there's going to be several questions that needed answering, and I just wasn't. It didn't look too good. I'm glad it was not where she is gainfully employed, because that would.
Well, none of this looks good because what the fuck are you doing with a monkey in your house?
I don't let it.
Let's circle back and start there.
No answers. I don't have any. I have zero.
I don't either. Which brings me back to my initial question. What the fuck's this country's regulations? Because should she even have that monkey? And should that monkey have like a fucking like should that monkey have a paycheck? Like, is it
right? Does that monkey get taxed?
There's a union of working monkeys.
So basically, what you guys are saying is the monkey is an indentured servant.
Oh my goodness!
You'd hope not. You'd hope the monkey has a 401k plan.
Boy. This is just taking
right.
turns.
So you get kitchen, dental, 401k, and mental health. The monkey got better benefits than most employees of human employees.
But wait though, wouldn't it be a tax write-off since technically the monkey would be a child since you have to care for him?
Yeah, well, you would think so, but what if the monkey gets a tax return and that tax return's in bananas?
I mean, you know.
What if that monkey get a better refund than people that work at like Safeway?
You get 1,000 bananas for a refund.
But that's if it is used, like if it's classified as its own citizen. But I would think because you're taking care of it, it would be classified as a child, which means you can get a tax write-off.
Okay. So monkeys are kids. Monkeys, you can claim
Like
a
pet,
monkey on your.
Silly
you have to care
rabbit,
for it like a
monkeys are
child.
kids.
I mean,
That would
in
be my thought
theory, I hear we come from monkeys, but
No, I don't come from
yeah, I
that.
mean, I figure y'all wouldn't believe in that theory, but
If you believe that, you
I already know. I know. Oh man. However, that was pin count. I want to close out on a bit of a serious note because I logged on to Twitter yesterday morning and I saw that Astro World was trending. I was like, oh shit, Astro World's back in town.
That's funny because my response was, "Oh God, what happened now?"
Two types of people, right? So I was like, well, I click on it and I'm seeing like, why it's trending. I'm like, oh my God. 8 people dead, 200 to 300 injured at the Astroworld Festival. And I believe that marks it as probably the most violent festival in American history, officially. And the reason alleged at this point, according to county sheriffs, is someone in the crowd pricking people with needles, in which with one of the people they were administered Narcan, and the Narcan actually worked. So obviously it was a drug of some sort. They pricked into these people like randomly through the crowd. And one person, caught wind as they were getting pricked and, caused a commotion. That caused the unrest in the crowd around them. And then that just ended up causing a entire faint, like a whole, crowd wilderness. And the thing is that a Travis Scott concert, that type of behavior is encouraged. So it's just seen as normal hype up behavior. But the reality of it all was that this was a dangerous situation going on, and he's just sitting there performing as if everybody's still having fun. Well, eventually it gets to a point where he realizes that, hey, this is a serious situation. So eventually he stops. But at the point that he stops, it's the point where, damage has already been done. And you see ambulances out there and shit like that. You got my kids jumping on jumping on ambulances and shit like that. You see, at beginning of this event, they were ever that fucking deep, ever. I've never heard of a time where it's that deep to go to a concert. Ever. And this is a problem that's going to keep happening. That's the crazy part about it. Like, honestly, at this point, nobody is willing to make any like significant changes to the wrongs that happen in this country. So any wrong that you see at this point that you've probably never seen before, you can't remember it, it's a precedent being set because it's just going to happen again. And it sucks because you want to go to a festival or a concert and you want to have the time of your fucking life, singing along to your favorite artist's music and, enjoying it with other people that enjoy that music as well. It's a terrific experience, I only imagine, because I've never gone to a concert. I'm claustrophobic. So it bothers me that there's somebody that wants to fuck that up for people, first and foremost. Then it bothers the hell out of me that there are people out there that does the fucking most and think that it's cute or funny or eccentric or out or in general cool. That shit ain't cool. Hopping over fences and trampling people and shit like that. Like, where the fuck y'all's manners? You see people on the ground being trampled, at least give them the liberty of picking them up or helping them up or something like that. At least. That's the least I can ask for. Because y'all motherfuckers just think it's cool to be reckless. And it's like, at a certain point, you got to draw a line on the recklessness. Is it fun being reckless? Sure. Sometimes it is. You know what I'm saying? Apparently, people like having fun like that. Cool. But it gets to a certain point where that shit is dangerous. And that's the problem. So it's like, can we still be reckless anymore? And I don't think we can. Or I don't think we should. And it's like, if you want to be reckless, leave the recklessness to the comfort of your own fucking home. Don't endanger other people's lives with your recklessness. That's just how I look at it. Because these people were here to have fun and enjoy themselves. And there are 8 people that aren't here anymore because they wanted to go out and enjoy themselves. And they died doing so, unexpectedly, trying to have fun. And that is tragic as fuck. Then all that, you have another 200-300 people who were just fucked up for being in the crowd in general, in a crowd where, it's commotion going on, a lot of confusion, nobody knows what's going on, and they just trying to get the fuck up out of there. And it's just a dangerous environment in general. And the entire situation is not only unfortunate, but it could have been prevented. It could have been prevented. That's all I can really say about it. Because there have been many examples where you've seen unrest in the crowd and people, the performers have stopped the music until the issue is resolved in one way, shape, or form. On the other side of that fence, there are people that there are performers that will perform while a situation is occurring, like a fight or so, because it gets to a point where, all right, they're fighting for a little bit, but they realize, nobody's engaging in the fighting as well. So eventually they just look stupid and realize it, and they go back to the concert. Sometimes that does happen. However, it doesn't happen as often. So it's a dangerous situation all around. There are a lot of people, including Travis Scott, are going to be at fault for this. My thing is that...
But wait, before you go, why should he be at fault? He's on stage. He can't see that. Have you been on a stage during anything like that?
No.
So this is what I'm saying. How is he supposed to know that? If he's on stage, the lights are bright, you can't see anything out there, for real, for being honest. So he can't be at fault. The event staff, that's why they're hired. That's literally their job. Is to get to him and be like, hey, yo, they wilding out here. We have to stop this. And I'm sure once they got to him and he realized that, he stopped it, which means he is not held responsible at that point anymore. Because he did what he was supposed to do.
The fact of the matter that all of this took place at his concert, I think will probably be the dagger for him right there, if anything.
No, because that's not his fault though. That's not his
But
fault.
you're
So
right. But again, the fact of the matter that it just took place in a setting where he was, promoting an event, and like the event it was under his name, so on and so forth. I don't 100% understand how that works per se, as far as event problems or situations go. But I think that it would be usable in court if they wanted to use it.
it's
Um,
not though. That's what I'm trying to explain to
oh,
you.
you're saying that it's not.
That's what I'm trying
Uh,
to explain. It shouldn't be. If
it,
because last I checked, if something like that, because if something like that happens, that
yeah.
means every person who was the main draw at any one of those situations would be sued. So taken as an example, let's say if somebody's at a club and everyone's going to be there because, just to use as an example, Beyonce is going to be at the club. If something pop off at the club because she's there, that's not her fault because she's the main draw, because she's the biggest name. It's the fault of whoever the event staff is, whoever owns the venue. That's their problem because they have
Ah,
security in place to deal with such things. It's the same concept.
okay, yeah. There it is. There it is. All right. So yeah, with that being said, it would be that event staff, that venue, because not only were they seemingly understaffed for this situation, but they were unprepared as fuck too.
Right. Now, if he owns the event staff and stuff like that, then it's on him. Because there are a lot of artists who do, they own the event staff, or they own the promotion company, or they own the venues and certain stuff like that in certain situations. So if it's one
Right.
of those situations, yeah, that does fall back on him because he's the one that signs the checks for those people.
Sure. And it like you said, there are certain celebrities and acts that will bring their own event staff to these events, or hire their own event staff to these events, and everybody just show up to the venue as scheduled. um like you said, if it's one of those situations, yeah, he Travis Scott and Drake probably as well are in trouble. But that's that hasn't been figured out yet, I don't think. So it's like when all this dust settles, that's what we can really uh you know figure out who's at fault. Well, there are a lot of people at fault here, but who who's in trouble really. Yeah.
I mean, it's the whoever was the person drugging people. They're at fault.
Certainly.
It's that simple, really.
My thing is that, again, these are people trying to enjoy themselves. Why do you want to be that person that ruins that fun for everybody else?
Because Los, like Kenny and I have said this whole episode, we're humans. We always take it too far. We're all bad.
Yeah,
It's
well, like,
never
do that to
enough.
yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't do that to other people that don't obviously deserve it at that moment. You know?
Again, in a perfect world, yes, we don't live in a perfect world. So unfortunately, this is par for the course. That's why the theme
Well,
of this episode is what the theme of this episode is. Unfortunately, we're
well,
humans.
instead of just saying in a perfect world, how about, I don't know, we start trying to perfect it? Ah,
You
that's a
can't.
crazy idea. That's a fucking nuts
How
thing.
though?
We could never.
Exactly, because there's too many perspectives. There's too many people. Like to do that, you would have to control everyone's thoughts.
Hmm.
That's never going to be a thing to a certain extent, in the sense of like not, if you're one of those, well, not if you're one of those, like how you can be subjective to certain themes and shows and stuff like that. I'm not speaking on any of that. I'm talking about simply just all of us agree on one thing. That's never going to happen because we're all different. We all have different perspectives.
But wouldn't it be nice if we did could find somebody that can articulate the rights and wrongs of this country to a T, why it is detrimental to society, what we can do to change that? Wouldn't that be nice if we can get somebody that like could get all that done and the
Not
entire
really. No,
country could like literally sit and agree?
no, because
At
then there
least.
wouldn't be change. I
What do you
think
mean?
because I'll explain it. As humans, we like to sit and think that because we only want good things to happen, that we have to eradicate bad. And we don't understand that it's a pendulum. There can be no good if there's no bad. It's going to happen. It's going to exist because we've already opened up that box. We can't close the box since it's been open. The only thing we can do is try to carve out a little piece of society for our own, for ourselves, people around us, our own little bubbles, if you will, and try to explain it to people in our little bubbles, in our circles of influence. And then it's spread out that way. And even in spreading it out that way, there's still going to be people who vehemently disagree because that's just human nature. It's never going to be a general consensus. I also think the quicker we understand that as a society, the quicker we'll be able to realize that unfortunately bad things happen. They happen to bad people, they happen to good people, just like good things happen to bad people and good people. There's nothing we can really do about it. We just have to control what we can control, which, like I told you, the only thing we can control is us. You can't control nobody else because all of this conversation sounds like you're trying to control people. We can't control people. We don't have that ability. We can only control one human who's alive, and that is us. Can't control nobody else. And even us, certain things we can't really control because of how we're wired. So do you really want one person who's flawed and who's terrible trying to control a bunch of other flawed and terrible people?
Fair point. But all this sounds, agreeable or acceptable, you know, until some cop guns me down or some shit like that. Or fuck around and end up in the wrong side of a town. Or I go traveling and wind up in a sundown town. And yeah, this is all depressing. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Yeah, that's life. Okay.
So,
Well,
Kenny.
uh, no, I mean everything we saying will sound all depressing. You know what I'm saying? I have hope, but y'all probably won't want to hear it. But anyway,
Oh, I'm not saying don't have hope. I'm just
no, no,
saying you
no.
also have to, you gotta
I was saying,
understand.
I have a way to find some hope, but people probably don't want to hear it. So
Oh, I get, okay. Now I
yeah,
get what you're
but
saying. Okay.
and I've
Yeah.
never been that kind of person. But all I can say is, yeah, it's easy to look at how bad humanity is, but you gotta also, even in the process with all this bad stuff happening, you gotta keep your mind on things that are okay. Because that's the only way that you be able to survive in a world where so much madness and chaos is happening. You know what I mean? As difficult as that is, you gotta find a way to do it. So that's all
I
I really
also
got to say.
agree with that.
Yeah, I don't, my heart weeps for people, especially people that are really trying to like generally do the right thing, you know. So then on the opposite side of that spectrum, people that do have big hearts get taken advantage of the most. So you can see why
Yeah.
those people don't want to be helpful anymore. So again, every coin got two sides, every sword got two edges. So it's just
Yeah,
which side of the sword do you want to be on?
that's for
You
true.
want to be on the side that gives life, or do you want to be on the side that gives death?
Fair point.
Build or destroy.
Very
Right.
fair point.
I choose to build people. I
Definitely.
can't speak for everybody else.
But that is literally the conundrum of living. And it's frightening and amazing at the same time. It's like all of us are basically saying the same thing right now. Like we would love for the rest of the world to operate like that. It's just the rest of the world does not. So it's like, how do you, for those who don't agree with the stance that Kenny tiptoed over, and for obvious reasons, how do they find life worth living?
Right.
Yeah.
Because that's the issue. There's a lot of
Devontae
people
just
who
caught
don't
two
find it.
big back-to-back passes. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You're being serious.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Mission of a super villain, the killer who loves children. One that's in the one that's in to destruction, as well as in the building. So I guess you can. It's possible to keep a balance of both. I guess you can rather want to destroy than to build as well. But what good is it? I don't know.
But that's
My
the
final
funny part.
thought.
To them, it is good.
Mhm.
Look at Thanos. His
He won't.
thought
Thanos,
process wasn't necessarily wrong. It's just how he
yeah,
went. Or no, his end result wasn't wrong. It's just how he got
Went
about
about
doing
it. Mm-hmm.
how he
what
went
he
about things
created.
was not the right way, but what he was saying made you go, you know, he's got a point. Kind of like Killmonger.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
Well, you
that's
know,
why I always tell
whoever
you,
they made
they,
here, that's why it made me go, you know what? The anti-hero gets a bad rep. They definitely get a bad rep. Like they know what they want and it's going to be good, but going about it not the best way.
Oh
Oh
yeah,
God.
definitely like Batman. You know what I'm saying? He has pure intentions. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes his ways are good. Sometimes the way he goes about it kind of messed up.
Not so good. Not so good. So, yeah. My final thought is this. AEW All Out. That's tonight, isn't it?
Oh wow! I know Full Gear is
Oh,
next
that's what I
week,
meant.
next Saturday.
It's next Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday coming up.
That is listen. I looked at that card and woo wee.
We may get a Hangman redemption story.
Yes, sir.
We'll see it.
Hangman versus Omega. We had Dr. Britt Baker, DMD versus I forgot that fast. And I want to say Hikaru Shida.
I
But
think
no,
so. I think it's a car shooter.
that's what it
It
is.
might be
Hikaru
wrong. I
Shida.
think so. Don't quote me.
Yeah, I think it is actually. Oh my God, that match is gonna be so good.
CM
Yes,
Punk versus Eddie Kingston.
I was just about to say that next. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That match is the one I'm gonna be looking for because this motherfucker CM Punk look like he's about to be about his business again. He's past the welcome back tour and he's ready to get down to business now. Like the rust is shaking off. He's ready to run fades. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like extremely excited about that match. Um there was one more match that I had saw. I'm gonna bring back.
Super Quick versus Christian Cage and Jurassic Express. I'm interested in that just because it's the super quick and it's Adam Cole, baby. I always want to
Well,
see Adam Cole.
uh, I just saw the entire card earlier, and I'm so mad I can't bring it up. At any rate, the entire card looks like it's about to crack, and it makes you wonder, right? Given the releases WWE had, like Kenny Omega said, familiar faces, unfamiliar faces, it don't matter to him. But that's the thing about AEW's energy. It don't matter to them either. Come through, it's lit. That's AEW's energy, dog.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about it. And honestly, man, I'm not saying that WWE should start doing kicking it like that, but it would do them good to open the forbidden door. That's all I'm saying. Because at this point, we get into a point where that independent contractor bullshit is starting to become a thing of the past. And then not only that, territory supremacy is going to slowly become a thing of the past. Honestly, I feel like when this man dies, that's when territorial supremacy dies as well. Because that's who had it in the vice grip for so long. So you'll start to see, these other promotions getting hype, and it's going to be because of AEW. I'm willing to bet that as well, because AEW has no problem with working with other promotions, as you can see with TNA, as you can see with New Japan, as you can see with the smaller promotions that they're working with as well, to get these little like tag team champion, AAA tag team champions, and shit like that. So if they're working with these, promotions that aren't as hyped as AEW is right now, what the fuck you think is going to happen for them monetarily? That's big bang for them. That's giving them the chance to be able to get a time slot on a television station contract, and so people can watch their promotion more. So then you're going to see these indie promotions start coming up a little more and working with these other promotions. Then you're going to start seeing, again, after Vince McMahon dies, WWE is going to start catching wind that this is starting to become the trend, and is going to force their hand on it, because it's like, all right, well, everybody is coming up now and it's kind of a big deal. And they're going to get to a point where it's like they're going to lose viewership.
Yeah.
It has to happen at some point. It just has to. So once it starts happening, WWE is going to be forced to work with other promotions. And then we're back to square fucking one prior to 1982 or 1984.
Yeah.
But it's going to be much better now because, again, these promotions are going to be working with each other. And not only that, we're living in an era where the territorial idea works, because you have these TV stations putting these shows on TV, giving people the chance to, watch other promotions and such. And so you see somebody on AEW with somebody else's title, you gotta tune into that show to watch them compete against somebody from that show to get their title back onto that promotion. Shit like that, like what Kenny Omega's doing with the title collection bit. So it's going to work out even better, and we're going to be much better for it as far as a sport goes. I just can't wait till that happens. But eventually it's going to happen. Bring it on, Kenny.
All right, that being said, my name is Kenneth Whitaker, aka Henry So, original owner of Millennium Falcon. Yeah, I don't think I can say anything else about me flying the ship. I've been doing it so long. It's just like natural.
$23 skip.
Oh my goodness. AKA Last Black Jedi. Do or do not. There is no try. Like you try me, you're gonna get these hands. Shout out to Braun Strowman or Aaron Sher, whatever his name is.
I took a risk on that one because your volume went out again.
Oh, well, you did it right. So, risk rewarded. AKA Mr. Ghostly Rocker. These eyes cry every night for you. These arms, they want to hold you again. The hands of me and oh no, Darius Slay is hurt. AKA Nacho Man, I'm a savage. Oh yeah. See, the one thing you gotta remember, Eugene, that it's always good to have some sweets on deck. Yeah. Because there's one thing I know about thoughts, Eugene. Thoughts love themselves some sweet. But the one thing you gotta remember, Eugene, is that the Nacho Man is never sweet. No, because the Nacho Man has to do things that everyone else doesn't necessarily understand. You see, I can be a little topsy-turvy, loony in my head, Eugene. But the one thing I'm not loony about is climbing to the very top, elbow dropping a super thigh. Oh yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Nacho Man, I'm a Savage, live from the candy aisle of the grocery store. Back to you, Gorilla.
How come this Halloween candy is a discounted gift?
Yeah, what's that about?
What is that about? AKA the very sexual, the very tight.
Very tight dish.
Austin Powers Faja.
Wait, his Faja?
Dad is Faja.
Oh.
Hey there, diaper lady. Here's my diaper. Oh, I think I pinched one off a little too soon. Ooh, I left a rosebud in there for you.
God.
Ah, hilarious.
Mother of pearl. All right. So, bring. Hey, listen. Come on. Here we go. Here we are. All right, cool. Let's finally bring it the fuck home. My name is Carlos Crawford, aka moonsaulting from the top middle rope and crashing into the announcer's table with nobody there. It's Chin Music Charlie. That fucking hurt too. AKA Old Stone Cold.
What?
You slapped me on the back.
What?
You punked me out.
What?
You knocked the wind out of me.
What?
You insulted my manhood.
What?
God damn it, son. You hurt my damn feelings.
What?
AKA Snack Miller. Woke up annihilated, lying on pavement, covered in items I regurgitated under a fire escape. And I know that it's Friday because every Friday they have a parade in front of City Hall. Hear them celebrate, they having a ball. AKA, you know him. You love him. Hey, stop freezing on me. God damn it. Now coming to bat, Ken Spliffy Jr. Bottom of the ninth, and they're 1 out away from becoming champions. I'll drive out the left center, and this may keep the game going in the extra innings. It's back. Spliffy climbs the wall and reaches. He's got it. They win the World Series.
Holy smokes!
Way to stay on subject. AKA the Idiom Savant. Yeah, we won the World Series. Fair and square. You figure out what idiom is.
Fair and square.
AKA Hoss West. Really wish Mom and Haystack ain't have to make me go next on this. Oh, very. Oh, that convo don't seem too friendly. Let's let this one play out. I don't know what you want. Oh, my work here is done, and I never had to lift a finger. Caleb's going to be pissed when he hears about this one. Good day. Good day. And ladies and gentlemen, that was episode 162, wasn't it? It was. Like us. Like us on Facebook. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Will we ever be on iTunes or Spotify with this show? Who knows? We're 162 episodes in. You want to get us on iTunes or Spotify? You know how to deal with the RSS feeds and stuff like that, and how to compress zip files and things of that nature? Bang our line. Help us out real quick, because we don't.
Yeah.
So that's why half of this selection. That's why at this point a third of this episode collection is on fucking SoundCloud, and we haven't transferred them onto YouTube, and the rest of the collections on YouTube because we're just doing it as video now. So there you go. There's your answer. That's why half of this, a third of this show isn't on YouTube, and you got to find it on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Is that?
We're off this.
Yeah.